It's time to work on your values. So your values are really like your behavioral compass. That's what really guides how do we do things around here, how do we treat each other in this business. And that's really kind of like the guiding framework for the culture that you want to create in your salon, in your spa, in your barbershop or other service business. Because I'm sure you'll agree with me that a service business is a people business. There's a lot of interaction happening, between your clients and with your staff and even amongst your staff as well, right? So, how you interact, how you welcome people and treat people and how you, behave is a core component of your brands. And your values is what describes the desired culture and the behaviors that you want. So this is a very important part of branding for a service-based business. So when we craft your brand values, what's important is that the values that you set for your business are genuine and really true to your business. There's no point making up nice words and trying to kind of set values that doesn't really reflect the reality, right? And what you're about and how you want things to work and how you are working as a business. So it's important that they are genuine. They should help you connect with your ideal clients. So if we go back to the lesson where we talked about your target client, we should have a good idea on kind of what are her psychographics, what does she value, how does she want to be treated. That should be a good source to kind of inspire you for what is important when you set the values to make sure that you serve him or her, in the best way possible. And in fact, your values and the culture that you have in your business is really something that can set you apart from competition, when you do this right. How you meet people, how you treat people, that can really be a competitive advantage, a differentiation, from other similar business in your area as well. So that's also something that you can have in mind when you think about the values that you want to set for your business. But something that is really important when we define those values is that they are specific. I've seen countless of examples of salons and many other local businesses and businesses in general, right? That kind of like think up these nice sounding words that they put on the website, like here's our values. But they're like very generic and, you don't really understand what does that mean. It might sound nice, but it doesn't really inform, what it really means in practice. And it's important to get specific with those values, because if you're not specific, then it's hard to expect like your team or other people that you want to embrace your values to really do that, because it's just like a nice word and then they forget about it, right? So you need to get specific in terms of how we describe those so that it really becomes actionable and something that people understand and can, follow. If we look at some examples of what this could be, so you could have values like building relationships, passion, quality, integrity, growth. In fact, in the workbook, I've included a list of, it's over 100 for sure, different words that could be used as value words, more to serve you as an inspiration. So it's good to kind of start, with that word, but then also add some description that makes it concrete. What does that value really mean in practice? Obviously, you might not be able to cover everything, but kind of give it a bit of description so that your staff and the people who should embrace them kind of understand what do you mean when you say passion, that you write like passion, we're committed in heart and mind. Quality, all we do well, or else we do not do it. Then we make the choice not to actually do it. So really, we want everything we do to be with excellence. Or if it's integrity, we are real, we're authentic, and we do what we say we're going to do. You can see the examples there on the screen. So the point here is like, don't just pick a nice word because it sounds cool or nice and will look nice on your website, but really think through what are the values that are important for you, choose the words to represent that, and also add a description, that can be longer than in these examples, but that really kind of in an easy way makes people understand like, I understand what that is and, how I should behave and the culture that we want to have in this business. It's time for the exercise. So the way I recommend you do this is that you find I say 3 to 7 words. You know, if it's 3 words, that's probably on the low side to really be able to describe your culture that you want. If you go above 7 words, I think it's gonna become difficult for your team and for people to even remember what all of them were. So try to kind of land somewhere in between there, I would say. And as said, in the workbook, there's a list of like 100 words that could be used to describe a value. So that could be a good place to go to get some inspiration for values that you can use. But again, like, don't just take those words and just copy paste them, but make sure you explain what each word really means for you, and you know, how that should be brought to life in your business. Because when you do that, you will land on something that is like concrete, that people understand. It's easy for your team to embrace. And this is a very powerful way for a service-based business who have a lot of client interaction, a lot of people interaction, to bring your brand to life also via your team. So that's what we're going to do next. Start writing down your brand values.